Namo Buddhaya. Dear Dhamma friends, when we look into this world, we see things that make us very happy. And at the same time, we see things that make us very unhappy. But most of the time, we tend to focus on things that make us happy. For example, let's say we see a beautiful person. Just by the sight of that person, we think, oh, I wish I was like that person. Or when we see a person who is very successful, we think, I wish I was successful. I wish I am successful just like that person. Or when we see a luxurious house or vehicle, we think, I wish I had a house like that. Or I wish I had a vehicle like that. Dear Dhamma friends, can we wish for things, pray for things, and simply obtain those happiness that we love? Can we truly wish for things in our lives? Let's find out. When our great teacher, the Supreme Buddha, was residing at Jeta's Grove, the householder, Anathapindika, came to visit the Supreme Buddha. Upon arrival, the householder worshipped the Blessed One and sat to one side. The Blessed One had a conversation, a Dhamma conversation with the householder. The Blessed One explains, householder, there are these 5 things that are wished for, desired, agreeable, and rarely gained in the world. What 5? Long life, beauty, happiness, fame, the heavens. These are the 5 that are wished for, desired, agreeable, and rarely gained in the world. So the Blessed One is explaining that there are 5 things in this world that beings wish for. The first one is long life, the second one is beauty, third one is happiness, fourth one is fame, and final one is to be reborn in the heavenly world. Now, dear Dhamma friends, when we look at the first one, long life is something that we all wish for. None of us like to die at a young age. We all love our lives. When this pandemic, when this COVID took a hold of our lives, when it took a hold of all of our lives, people around the world were affected by it. A lot of the people around the world took great precautions to safeguard against this virus. Why is that? Because we love our lives. We followed the health regulations to the maximum in order to be safe against a virus that can't even be seen through our naked eye. We all of us did this because we love our lives. So what the Buddha explained was the truth. We desire long lives. And the Blessed One explained, we desire beauty. We like to be beautiful. Even the ugliest person wishes to be beautiful. Beauty brings happiness to a person's life. Regardless of gender, whether you are female or male, we all go into extremes in order to look good. We come up with different kinds of hairstyles. We do a lot of makeup. We wear clothes that are in trend. Why do we do such things? Because we take a great look at ourselves. We love the way that we look. We want it to be good. Whenever we take a picture with our friends, the first thing that we do when the picture comes out is to see how we look. So, dear Dhamma friends, beauty is something that we all love. Then the Buddha explains happiness is something that all beings desire. When we are ill, we go to the doctor to make sure that we overcome by that illness. So physically, we don't like to be ill. So we love physical happiness. And even mentally, none of us like to be stressed, to be depressed, and to be overcome by fear or to feel helpless. So mental happiness is something that all beings love to have. And fame is something that we wish for. To be popular, to have a lot of friends around you is something that we like. Dear Dhamma friends, when we have a lot of friends around you to share our good times and our bad times, that brings us joy. But whenever we don't have anyone to share our life with, then that brings sadness to our life. And Dhamma friends, the Blessed One explains to be reborn in a heavenly world is something that beings wish for. But a lot of people in this world do not believe that life exists after death. But the ones who do believe, after the breakup of the body, they wish to be reborn in a heavenly world. But the Buddha explains these 5 things, householder, that are wished for, desired, agreeable, and rarely gained in the world, I say, are not obtained by means of prayers or aspirations. If these 5 things that are wished for, desired, agreeable, and rarely gained in the world could be obtained by means of prayers or aspirations, who here would be lacking in anything? So the Buddha explains all this happiness, whether it be long life, beauty, happiness, fame, or to be reborn in a heavenly world, these happiness can't be obtained by a wish or prayer or an aspiration. If we can gain them by a wish or prayer, then nobody would be lacking of anything. Why is that? All we have to do is wish for things. The Buddha explains, householder, the noble disciple who desires long life ought not to pray for long life or delight in it. A noble disciple who desires long life should practice the way conducive to long life. For when he practices the way conducive to long life, it leads to obtaining long life, and he gains long life, either celestial or human. The Blessed One explains, there's a noble disciple. Now, dear Dhamma friends, who's a noble disciple? A noble disciple is a person who has gone for refuge to the Supreme Buddha. He has a confidence in the enlightenment of the Buddha. A noble disciple has gone for refuge to the teachings of the Buddha and the noble Sangha. A noble disciple is a person who practices the precepts, who is virtuous. So the Buddha explains, a noble disciple desires long life, but he or she is not going to wish for it, but rather that person is going to practice a path that would lead them to long life, whether it be celestial or human. So the Blessed One further explains, a noble disciple loves to have beauty, happiness, and fame. But he or she is not going to wish for it, but rather practice a path that is conducive to obtaining of beauty, of happiness, and fame. A noble disciple would love to be reborn in a heavenly world after the breakup of the body. But a noble disciple is not going to wish for that, but rather he or she is going to practice a path, undertake some principles, so that person can be reborn in a heavenly world. So dear Dhamma friends, what is the path? What is the road that one should take in order to obtain all this happiness? The Blessed One explains, one should practice generosity, one should practice virtue, and one should practice meditation. These three are known as the three streams of merit. We call it Dana, Sila, Bhavana. So when a noble disciple refrains from killing living beings, then he or she is on the path of obtaining a long life. When a noble disciple practices to get rid of anger and to develop thoughts of loving kindness, the noble disciple is on the path to obtaining beauty. And when a noble disciple practices the three streams of merit, he or she is on the path of obtaining happiness. And whenever a noble disciple gives alms or practices generosity or does any kind of meritorious activity, he or she gets a hold of a lot of people, gathers a lot of people and does the meritorious deeds. In return, he or she is entitled to fame. A noble disciple practices generosity, gives alms, practices virtue, the precepts, and does the meditation, tries to focus the mind in a wholesome thought. So when he or she does that, the noble disciple is on the path to be reborn in a heavenly world. So dear Dhamma friends, it is clear that the Tathagata, our great teacher, the Supreme Buddha, is not a person that deceives or misguides his disciples. He does not ask us to wish for things, pray for things, but rather he tells us the road. He points us the path that we should take in order to obtain all this happiness. Dear Dhamma friends, look into your life and then see any of the success that you have gained in your life is because of great effort, not because of a wish or a prayer. So dear Dhamma friends, practice the three streams of merit so that you can gain happiness in this life and the life after. Namo Buddhaya.